Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Well, here in Orlando, outside the Pulse nightclub, where 49 people were killed on Sunday, the FBI have just appealed for any witnesses who had any contact with the killer Omar Mateen to come forward. But the impact of this massacre on American politics already seems profound. Donald Trump, whose poll ratings have slipped this week, has turned his attention to trying to make his supporters in the gun lobby, the NRA, agree to new gun controls. Hillary Clinton has just stepped up her attacks on Trump's response to the massacre, calling it dangerous. But most arresting today has been the new video footage of the killer Omar Mateen himself. Caught on camera, the mass murderer Omar Mateen.
Morning.
Good morning. Do you have a badge?
No, I'm actually just wondering what's going on here.
Oh, it's for BP.
In a bizarre turn-up, the Orlando killer was secretly filmed 5 years ago as a security guard in a documentary about the BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill.
There's people out here, but they're all scattered all over the place. There's no one really to talk to. And they're hoping for more oil to come out and more people to complain so they'll have the jobs.
G4S have confirmed this is Mateen.
They want more disaster to happen because that's where their money making is.
Yeah.
Salman, did you know your husband was going to do this?
While his wife continues to be questioned on what she knew, the massacre has brought together two of the biggest issues in American politics: terrorism and gun control. Donald Trump has fallen in the polls since the attack, so now wants to be the man who delivers gun control. "I'll be meeting the National Rifle Association," he tweeted, about not allowing people on the terrorist watch list to buy guns. Under Obama, that idea was voted down under pressure from the gun lobby. It's a major shift. Trump's reaction to the massacre so far focused on Muslims.
And I watched President Obama, and he was more angry at me than he was at the shooter. The level of anger, that's the kind of anger he should have for the shooter and these killers that shouldn't be here.
The much bigger Democrat ambition, which the NRA will never back, is a return to a federal ban on assault weapons. The rifle used by Omar Mateen was similar to the AR-15, one of the most common weapons in America for hunting, targets and protection. It's a semi-automatic. You have to pull the trigger every time to fire. Its bullets are actually smaller than many handguns.
So I can actually create more damage using a handgun. The bullet holes from the .45 are this top target here. The bullet holes from the .223 are this bottom target here.
But crucially, assault rifles take magazines of 30 bullets at a time.
All I have to do is take the magazine out, put another magazine, and I'm ready.
And in most states here, it is astonishingly easy for a US citizen or permanent resident to buy one. To show how easy, we sent our video editor Chris to the nearest gun shop. How long would it take? In Florida, the law says people must wait 3 days before being allowed to buy a handgun. But it's perfectly legal for a dealer to sell a long gun, such as an assault rifle, to anyone walking in off the street. It took Chris just 15 minutes. So that was easy?
That was way too easy.
And what is it?
This is the AR-15. They could sell me different levels of the AR-15, but I just got the most basic one. I walked in, I said, I want to go to a gun range and shoot a semi-automatic weapon like an AR-15. A semi-automatic weapon. He goes, an AR-15? I'm like, yeah, sounds good. He goes, I said, I'm from out of state. He said, that's no problem. I said, here's my driver's license. He goes, fill this form out. It took me literally a minute to fill the form out. They ran a background check. Done.
A military-style weapon, cost just £500. Did they ask you any questions?
None.
What you wanted it for?
No.
Or?
No questions asked.
15 minutes and virtually no questions asked, and that's precisely the problem for gun campaigners, because it is simply too easy for anyone to walk into a shop and come out with a weapon that was specifically designed to fire as many bullets as possible, as quickly as possible. But even Democrats aren't trying a new assault weapons ban yet. Tonight, the best they can do is reintroduce legislation to stop people on terror watch lists from buying them. But they'll need Trump and the NRA to get even that through. And just to let you know that the weapon that we bought in that piece is now being handed over to the police, who will destroy it. Now, Donald Trump has just been speaking, and as ever, his messages can be slightly confusing to decipher, because this time he has actually been talking about people having more guns rather than less.
If some of those great people that were in that club that night had guns strapped to their waist or strapped to their ankle, and if the bullets were going in the other direction aimed at this guy who was just open target practice, you would have had a situation, folks, which would have been always horrible, but nothing like the carnage that we all as a people suffered this weekend. Nothing.
Hillary Clinton has also just been speaking, and she's chosen to attack Trump on what he's been saying about Muslims and Muslim immigrants.
This approach isn't just wrong. It is dangerous, and I want to emphasize and underline this. Of course we want to keep our country safe. Of course we want to work together in order to do that. That should go without saying. But I want to underscore we rely on partners in majority Muslim countries to help us fight terrorists.
Well, meanwhile, Democrats in the Senate are currently filibustering, constantly talking, basically, until they get their way, saying that they will hold the floor of the House until their Republican colleagues agree to bring back some sort of gun control debate. The Connecticut Senator, Chris Murphy, has said he will stay there until we get some signal.
What our goal and objective is in this now 3.5-hour debate.
Well, joining me now is Randy Ross, who is a community activist and Republican political operative here in Orlando. We showed how easy it is to buy an assault rifle today, $700, 15 minutes. Do you think it's too easy?
Of course it's too easy, but the reality of the situation is I support the Second Amendment. I support a person's right to bear arms. Do I believe that a person on the FBI watch list or someone who can't fly in an airplane should be able to buy an assault weapon or any weapon at all? I do not support that.
But anyone else, anyone else should be able to just buy a rifle so long as they don't have a criminal
You could buy a pressure
record.
cooker. We saw that with the Boston
Yeah, but the
bombing.
point is that Omar Mateen, wasn't on a watch list, was able to buy a weapon, despite previous concerns about him.
Yeah, he could have used a box cutter to take down airplanes, as we saw in 9/11. The weapon is not the problem. The people are the problem. The people who get the weapons are the problem.
But Donald Trump, the man you support, in fact, you're chairing his campaign in this area, he's now joined in this idea that people who are on terror watch lists shouldn't be allowed to buy weapons. I mean, what would that?
I'm speaking to you today as an activist and volunteer and a person who lives a mile away. I'm not speaking on behalf of the campaign.
Okay, but you are a Trump supporter, aren't you?
I am a Trump supporter.
So he, in fact, you're running his campaign here. I mean, he says that this would make a difference. Haven't you just suggested it wouldn't?
What do you mean? Say it again. Say the question close.
Stopping people who are on terror watch lists from buying weapons is now a policy that Donald Trump wants to adopt. He's trying to get the NRA
I think that's a great
to sign up to that.
I think that's a policy that I would support.
But that wouldn't have done anything to prevent this
But if there are
happening.
more people in that club, and it's right there, we can see it from here. I've been in that club many times. I went there the night they opened that club. Had more people had weapons in there, they most likely could have stopped him a lot sooner than killing 49 people. Would it have been as easily as stopping multiple bullets? No.
That's a slightly different question, though, isn't it? I mean, the point is
that's answering your
why.
question.
Well, no, it's not really, because the question I'm asking you is whether he should have been able to get hold of a weapon in the first place so easily.
He passed all of the right, unfortunately, based on the fact that he'd been interviewed by as we know, by the FBI multiple times, he passed all of the requirements in the state of Florida and federally to be able to get that gun. Do I understand that a person who's been interviewed by the FBI and might be considered a terrorist should be able to do that? No. But that's not my policy to speak on.
But that leaves you in a position where people who are terrorists, or who are lone wolves, can just walk into a shop in 15 minutes, take out an assault rifle, and walk into a school, a nightclub, anywhere they want.
Radical Islamic terrorism, in my opinion. People who at a distance start believing in something, not even that they've been
Obviously, you
charged
have to be a terrorist with those designs.
father
But the
called him a
question is how easy it is to do. And the law here makes it very easy because you can just buy guns very
There are millions of guns
easily.
in the world. You cannot take guns away from bad people. Bad people are going to do things.
But there are
with
more
guns
guns here than in most places.
It doesn't change the end result. It could have been a pressure cooker. It could have been a box knife on an airplane. We've seen that happen time and time again. That happened, and I still don't even know how he got the gun in there. I'd love to. I've been in the bathrooms there before. I have to wonder, did he put the gun together? What was the process? What was the planning? We now know that his wife was here, and I think that's a whole other issue we need to discuss.
And do you think Trump is right to question whether this man's parents were right to be allowed in from Afghanistan to the United States?
I'm not going to speak on
Given
that.
that he
I
was
don't speak
born
for my
here,
candidate. I speak for my own feelings.
Well, I'm asking you, do you think that's a correct thing to say?
I think that it is fair and reasonable that we need to find a way to stop Muslims and those that we believe might be affecting this country's safety until such time as our country can stop and spend more time getting things in perspective. And I say that to you as an openly gay man of 50 years old, as a Republican, which is not popular, okay, by the way. I say that we have to do more than what we're doing. This will happen again. It just happened right here in my own backyard. It just happened in the city beautiful. It just happened here. But, you know, more importantly, tonight I think they buried the first of the folks that have fallen. You know, when I talk about and talk to people that knew those folks, I didn't know any of the people that passed away. I worry more about how their families are going to process this and how is our community going to heal. We're going to be hearing about this for so many years to come. We will be known not just as a theme park city, we're going to be known as the second largest, at this point, second largest terrorist attack on American soil. And
Randy
that's not
Ross,
great.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Well, now, there has been one other major piece of news here in Florida, normally a place, of course, of family happy holidays, which is a horrific event in which a 2-year-old child was taken by an alligator from a Disney World Resort hotel not far from here. The police say that the child's father attempted to grab the body before it disappeared into the water of a lake, and that lake is now the subject of a huge search, diving teams, many police officers involved, and that lake by a Disney hotel is now the focus of a great deal of attention, and police are expected to update us on that search later today. But that's it from Florida.